Hey, let it be known, I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold.
All right, here we go.
Maryland is shaken up after a terrifying attack on a school bus. Happened late Monday afternoon when a bus carrying students home from an alternative middle school stopped at a stop sign. A girl got off, but 3 others rushed on board. The bus driver said she saw the suspects try to shoot the boy in the head. Investigators say at that point, one of the suspects then pointed a gun at the boy's chest and pulled the trigger, but the gun jammed.
This was an attempted murder. Plain and simple. Let's call it what it is. Pulled the trigger 3 times, but for some reason, by the grace of God, the gun didn't go off, and bullets flew out of the gun.
The bus union president says the driver is terrified to return to work. She's afraid the suspects will remember the bus number and try to retaliate against her. There are no arrests at this point in the case.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. They tried to rob a damn school bus, but unfortunately for the robbers, the gun jammed, saving the boy's life. Oh.
Well, no, so
no, it wasn't robbery. They were trying to kill him.
Yeah, so they
it was a hit.
They went on, hey Hank, what's up?
What's up, brother?
They went on the bus to actually shoot. Can I say this? Destroy this teenager. It was a target, and when they pointed the pistol to the chest, the gun jammed.
Yeah,
okay? so that boy would have died.
That went through and then it jammed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then after it jammed, the teenagers pistol whipped him. They beat him up really, really bad. And then they got off the bus. And the bus driver didn't go to work for the rest of the couple of days. You know, this happened recently. So he didn't go to work. He said he was feared for his life. Yep. He also didn't help the child. He got off the bus just like the other kids. And the kid was on the bus by himself with these teenagers. Now, this is middle school. So I think the kid was like 12 and the other kids were 14. So they went on the bus to actually destroy this 12-year-old. It just didn't work out. So they got mad and pistol whipped him. Yes. Yeah. Now this happened like literally a couple of days ago, Friday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. And it was in Southern Maryland. So I think it was kind of like a pretty bad neighborhood, but it's crazy like how these 14-year-old kids are able to pull this stuff off. And this is why it's so important for the, like with the Bruiser video, for the men to be in their child's life, because if men was in this experience, I wish my kids would do some shit like this. Like what?
Like why? And then
I wish they would. And honestly, I'll tell y'all a story. I grew up in the hood, right? But I didn't have. I was around guns. I was around weed. I was around crack. I know all that stuff smelled like. I know how to get it. I do everything, right? But I stayed away from that because I had a strong father figure in my house, and I had my dad in my life type of situation. Yeah. So I didn't need all that stuff. And then I used to tell my brothers like, "Hey, we ain't got to do all this shit. I ain't had to join no gang to be respected or be cool. I had my brothers with me. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to make, if we are in these bad environments, make sure these kids' dads are in their life so they can steer them away from that. Because if they don't get it from their daddy, they're gonna find another man to get it from, and it's gonna be a man that you don't want him to get it from. Just being honest. But
yeah, what do y'all think about that story?
I can't blame the bus driver for leaving.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a gun. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the kids came on the bus and was just fighting the fist cuffs kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where he could be able to help. No, I don't. But
yeah,
they do need to get them kids. Like,
but who's raising kids to think they could like just destroy a person for what? Like, why would they try to shoot them?
It sounds like them crazy situations where the parents are afraid of the kids. It's got to be a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand them situations, but
yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds like that would be the only way these kids thought they can get away with it. It's because they're bullying the parents, or the parents fear them or whatever.
And here's something else to think about. They probably come from single parent households with no father in the household.
Yeah.
Like the man just said, that was his son or sons, whatever, acting like that. They're going to get an ass whooping, plain and simple. So these kids, for kids to act in this kind of manner, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah. And as parents, we gotta get more nosy, man. We gotta see what's going on with these kids and stuff like. Because a lot of this, like I even remember going to middle school, and somebody brought a gun to school, and they hid it in the locker. So the guy had got beat up the day prior. So he was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna get you." You know what I'm saying? So he went, grabbed a pistol, brought it to school. You know what I'm saying? So. And I was going to try to get the guy. So that could have been a situation where I was in, because I seen him throw it in the locker. You know what I mean? So we have to kind of, you know what I mean, do better with this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And be more nosy with our kids, man. They get into all type of stuff now.
Yeah, that's very true. Hey, what's up?
Hello, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, I'm hanging in there. Hey, listen, those kids are way past spanking. Those kids are way past spanking. I mean, it seems to me that maybe there was a hit out on a kid. He might be a rival gang member's son or something like that. Because if it was that targeted, somebody said, "Hey, he's on that bus. Go get him." And I wouldn't be surprised if those kids, since they weren't successful, we may never see them again. You know, who knows? That's how bad it is out there. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I tell you, they were sent there deliberately to do a job and they failed.
Yeah.
You know, so
and
it's sad, but our community is destroyed all over the place. Now, I don't know if they're just throwing these things out there to try to exaggerate how bad it is. But you look at the looting, you look at the stores, you look at what happened in downtown Chicago.
Yep, Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about thousands of kids with no guidance in the Black community all over the place. All over the place. You know, so it's, I don't know how you solve that. Yeah. You can't look for the Democrats, right? You can't look for them because, no, I'm not going to get into the politics, but their job is to keep us thinking we're victims.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why you're going to start voting Republican.
So what?
That's why you got to start voting for the Republic.
Well, I didn't want to go to the deep, but we might have to think of alternatives. Whatever we do.
Listen. Here's the thing. If you're going to rely on politics, my point for saying that is, if you don't go into politics with it, Republicans give absolutely no fucks. Okay, the Democrats don't give a fuck. The Republicans give absolutely no fuck. So if you're going to go into it, go all the way with it. Start with nothing, because that's what you have, nothing. I was watching kids today with their parents. Parents are teaching they're treating the kids like friends, colleagues, peers. That ultimately, that's the problem. That's why these kids don't have any guidance. You're afraid to spank them or discipline them in a way that a punishment that meets the crime. You don't have to spank them if the occasion doesn't call for it. You don't have to do that. But if the occasion calls for it, or even some kids is just hard-headed, and that's the best way to get your point across. Some kids are like that. Some kids you got to spank them. Otherwise, they're just gonna laugh at you and keep moving. I saw that at the store today too. I mean, you know, people are afraid to do these things for some reason.
The court system, man, the laws and all this weird stuff.
In trouble.
They got CPS. They calling people. Man, the kids can be playing outside and get a bruise or something like that. And then go to school the next day. Now they calling them. You got to check up, and I'm like, yo, like it's like.
You want to know what my mom? I pulled that on my mother once. I did. I'll be transparent. I said, I'm going to call the child abuse people on you. You want to know what my mother said to me? Dude. She stopped and got real calm. She said, you know what? Tell you what. If you can make it to the phone, I'll let you call him.
You know, that's funny that you said that. You know,
no, she seriously, she stopped and she backed off me too. Okay. If you can make it to the phone, I'll let you do it.
You know, that's fun. I have a variation on that theme. I would just say this real quick because I wish one of my kids would have said that to me. I would say, and I'm gonna let them take you. And all of those things that you thought were a nightmare here, you wait till you get into one of them shelters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You get these shelters. They're gonna come home. Right.
They're gonna come home. Dad, I'm sorry. You know. Yeah, you sorry. All right. But you know, I'm glad I never had to go through that. You know, I had my girls were cool, so it's amazing. Well, I'm an old guy, so you know, my kids were. One of my kids is, I guess both of them are millennials, or actually one Gen Zs, right? Because I'm a baby boomer.
Damn, you got a young one.
Yeah, so I was kind of a little older when I had my girls, but you know, so I was a little bit more stable in my household. So they didn't have to grow up while I was growing up too. You know, so that made a difference for them.
What I think too, so for the ones that are not Gen Z, a lot of us didn't grow up with all of these accesses to things. So like social media is huge. You know how much you can learn from just on Instagram, TikTok, just scrolling. You know, for a young mind, they don't understand what they're looking at, so they're learning all the wrong things. Even the right things they can see, but they in their head, they're gonna put it together and be like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna be. I don't really care what my parent told me because they're doing it. You know, they don't understand anything. So I think it's too much access. Because when we were growing up, and y'all as well, we didn't have this. Like I know for us, we transitioned to having no internet. Yep. Then we had dial-up. Yep. Then we had the what is it? The VCRs, right?
Oh, yeah. CD players.
DVD players.
Yeah. It came from the CD players. It came from the gaming systems.
Yeah, we had the Nintendo.
Yeah. Right now,
DVD players, CD, Sega Saturn, PlayStation, the whole nine.
We didn't have the Bluetooth hookup. We had to buy memory cards. But that came later. You know, it wasn't
I did all of that, man. You know,
we didn't have Bluetooth speakers back then. We had to go to the store and buy them big ass boom boxes, like you see Run DMC had. I found one on Amazon for like $500. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot.
And for us, you know, we all transition into this. These kids already have it. They don't know nothing about what we didn't have. So I think with that, on top of you know, the parents not parenting, they're treating them like friends. That's what y'all was saying. And then just the lack of the family dynamic, the guidance. You need a lot to raise a kid. Kids don't know nothing. It's like starting from scratch. You just think about. So it's a lot to it.
But you said
the problem is,
okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say that the part of the problem is people don't know how to balance anything. It's either extreme this or extreme that. Yes, you are supposed to have have your kids be comfortable with coming to you and talking with you about any and everything, but they should still have respect for you too. Exactly. And they should know that we are not friends, you know, but this is our parent-child relationship where you are free to talk to me and come to me, ask me anything or whatever, tell me your troubles or whatever. But it still doesn't mean we're on friends. We're not peers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the problem with extremes.
You know, some of the dynamics is right in front of our face. I mean, you two guys are married, you know, and I'm married. But if you go past the baby boomer generation, and because I keep the genealogy in my family, and the point is
that's awesome.
The X, the Generation X, the Millennials, and the Zs, you could see the precipitous drop off in couples having children, right? So that means generation after generation of single mothers, they have a father involved, and the relationship, whether it's a good relationship or not, without both parents in the home, you can't really raise your kids because you lose all the serendipity. What I mean by that is, and then you guys probably know, but when you have both parents in the home, you have a broader view of how you raise your children, right? Because what I see, my wife might not see. What she sees, I might not see. And when the kids say something or do something, by serendipity, one of us is going to be there to catch it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make it, so it seems so complicated. And plus, if you're a single mom or dad and you're out working, you're going to miss stuff. You're going to be tired. You could be a dedicated person. I don't even want to disparage anybody. But your kids are growing up, especially in this age where they got all the stimuli. right? And I think if you had parents of couples, even in the new, because if you had couples like you two guys, you know about all the technology. So your kids are going to have all this technology, but you're aware of it. So you know how to govern, raise your kids in the new technology era. And so, so it's not necessarily bad. It's just that you're just not there to catch shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's easy. It's so easy for kids to get into bad stuff now too. Just like with us, like when I was growing up, it was hard to look at explicit pictures or videos and type of stuff. Now you can just go on Google and pull it up and stuff like that. Like it's ridiculous on how easy things have changed. And you made a good point earlier when you said it was like a hit. And me and my wife, when I first seen it, I always said either it's over a woman or it was over some hood type, you know what I mean? Like he was in a gang or something like that. Right. So normally when a situation like that is over because a little boy got disrespected and he trying to, this is what they do in the movies and stuff like that. And we had like a longer conversation about it. I think it's like we cheer when we watch Power, we cheer for them to get away, you know what I'm saying, to get free, not to do time and stuff like that, whatever, right? And sometimes our kids watch this stuff. And then now they seeing us cheering this stuff on. We have the mindset of we know it's entertainment, but they looking at it as like, oh wow, dad and mom like this type of stuff, right? So we kind of got to be more teaching them more, say, hey, this is just for fun. We understand that this person belongs in jail, you know what I'm saying? Just to be more realistic when we teaching our kids. So.
Yeah, it's just entertainment. Like you made a good point because we watch Power, but we don't have our kids watch it. Right. Because that show is crazy. But you were saying, you know, they listen and they see we watching it, and you know, so that was another point. You know, I didn't think of it like that. Even when it comes to like scary movies, I told y'all I'm a scary movie fanatic. These things are fake. I watch it because it's different. I walk outside, I don't see this. So it's something different, entertaining to me. But like, you know, he was saying, we got to just teach them that it's entertainment, never do these things, you know, but it's still kind of like a catch-22. So, you know, I see people raise kids and they're like, no, they could never watch that. Now I understand why they was like that.
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold.